Shalom, praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great most on the rule well. And shalom to the brothers doing the work of Syrian truth. Yeah, I saw this article, and again, it's just, DJ Trump, just pushing things forward. And with, the financial system, any kind of aspect of it, anything going digital, anything about like payment systems and whatnot, you can just kind of like line up and look at it like it's something that's leading towards the MOTB, the mark. So you had this so long penny Trump. This is on AP News. So long penny. Trump orders US to ditch 1 cent coin after decades of complaints. So it says the lowly penny, the forgotten mainstay of coin jars and car cup holders everywhere, may soon be no more. President Donald Trump announced Sunday he's ordered his administration to cease production of the 1 cent coin, whose buying power is long past its prime. Advocates for ditching the penny cited high production cost, currently almost 4 cents per penny, according to the US Mint. It's kind of funny as well, because with the what do you call it? The hell? Okay. With it was a high production, so with it costing 4 cents to make a penny, that then you just think about it, just like that shit doesn't even sound like it makes sense. And because of it, and the whole kind of approach of what the Doge Department of Government Efficiency is like, trimming down on those corners where you'll start limiting physical currency that can easily be pushed forward, because they'll say like, well, you start with a penny, maybe, what is it? Do they even have well, I know it's like a nickel and a dime. Yeah, 5 and 10. It's like over here, it's like 5 cents, 5 pence, 10 pence. But it's like all those little coins, the smaller ones, could just say like, hey, just kind of break it down to smaller, what do you call it? Sorry, not even smaller, larger amounts, rather than using the smaller ones, just for efficiency's sake or whatever. Then it might even be like, okay, limit coins and then just go to notes. Then even say with notes, you know what, we can go more digital with the system, because with like essentially Elon being brought in, a lot of these different government systems are basically going to be put on the track to be digitized in ways where it's like, over, especially you go to China, that a lot of that stuff's been progressed far faster than it's been done in like the West. Then even in like the UK, it's like with the not Western system, the like benefit system, housing benefit, different things. It's all wrapped into like disability and whatnot. It's wrapped into one system, one payment, like one government department managing it, like universal credit, where it's all in one place. So because it's all in one place, then it's easy to track, control, and they say it's like, oh, rather than worrying about going to the housing benefit guys for this, going to the job seekers guys for this, going to the disability guys for this, going for the what, you have it all in one place. And it's with the UK, it's smaller, it's easier to kind of centralize those, and because of how they've pushed culturally, it's been easier to kind of like wrap up these different elements of like government and whatnot together. But then for the US, it's a different kind of process. So with this, it's like, I look at it like they're trimming away at the money, and then it's various different areas where it's like, okay, we're gonna cease funding this, cease funding that, wasting too much money here. Okay, we need to adjust the system and have it where it's like, okay, it works this kind of way. And then they'll say, oh, it's so prices can go down, so we can charge less tax and blah blah blah, and then it'll be be more chill for the people that are out, that voted in Trump and whatnot. But then the reality is where they're looking to go is curtailing and trimming off a lot of this system, so it won't even be around. Because with it's like you come to the UK, it's the TFL is always use TFL as the example, where you go back like to the 90s. You'd have like ticket machines, and you'd go there. Well, you wouldn't even have ticket machines. You'd have fucking a guy at the desk or whatever. You go up and say, oh, I need a single to wherever or return to whatever. Pay him and then get. Then they put in the ticket machines. And then like in the early 2000s, they brought in the Oyster cards, and then put that in all the buses, all the trains, all the train stations and whatnot. And then they offered as well with you get free transport for like under 16s. Maybe it used to be up to under 19s as long as you're in college, but I'm not sure if they still do it. They might still do it, they might not. But then with these these different things, they slowly, gradually over time just chipped away at different bits to where it's like now if you're gonna go transport, it's like most people just use their contactless card. They don't even have an Oyster card. They don't even like engage with that. Some of them don't even use their card. They just use their phone, and then they'll have like their card on their phone, and then just tap tap tap, and then every purchase, every payment, you just tap 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 it. Then when you get used to that convenience, and then you're not even going to be thinking about cash. You're going to be thinking about no fucking pennies, no 5 pences, no 10 pence or dimes or nickels. And then it's easier to push forward to be like, okay, let's digitize these things. And then you have these different systems being pushed for various aspects of government, for being like, okay, let's simplify it and make it more manageable and whatnot. And then you have like what's happening over here in the UK with digital ID, where you have your driving license being able to be put on there. Then you already have aspects of the what you call it, like passports, already been digitized to where like now if you're going through like gates when you travel, if you have a digital passport, you can just tap it and scan it because it's got an RFID card in it, RFID chip in it, and then you can just use that to go through. So it's like you don't even have to go to the desk and have someone say blah 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 blah. It would just kind of like be there, you tap it, bang, it's done. So with these different systems have essentially been worked up to where it's like people have it's completely switched over to a digital system, and there's been no complaints whatsoever. Then you have what does it say? So it says advocates for ditching the penny cite its high production cost, currently almost 4 cents per penny, according to the US Mint, and limited utility. Fans of the penny cite its usefulness in charity drives and relative bargain in the production costs compared with the nickel, which costs almost 14 cents to mint. So that's these are things where you just think like, if the cost is a justification for the penny, then you can use it on like bigger coins, and then maybe just be like, okay, look, we can save billions in government from not minting these coins outside of like special commemorative coins or some shit, I don't know, or for particular uses, and then like slowly kind of work through to where people will accept it. Was to say, Trump's surprise order comes after decades of unsuccessful efforts to pinch the penny. Only tradition explains our stubborn attachment to the penny, but sometimes traditions get ridiculous. The Farmer's Almanac said in its 1989 edition. Here's a look at some questions surrounding Trump's order. Can Trump really order the Treasury to stop minting pennies without Congress's approval? Yes, according to legal scholar Lawrence H. Tribe, the Carlem Loeb University professor, blah blah blah. Okay, U.S. Treasury gives The US Code gives the Treasury Secretary the authority to mint and issue coins in amounts the Secretary decides are necessary to meet the needs of the United States. If the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, or Bessent, decides the amount necessary for the penny is zero, he's within his legal rights. So, and what's that? So necessary to issue coins in amounts, yeah. So then they can basically cut down to zero on any of the coins. If they say like, hey, we're switching over. We're switching over. Then then they can do that, and it's that's the thing is with these laws being passed, they build up, accumulate, and then get to the point where it's like, what the desires of the elites are, what they want to accomplish and achieve, through these, laws. Then just they get to execute on it, and then it'll be because the legal framework's there'll be a lot less resistance to it. That's the thing. It's like with the digital ID, I remember there was like heavy resistance to it through the 2000s. Like they're reporting it a lot, and then you had younger people kind of less averse to it, like university age, just for convenience. And then it was much older people that were averse to it. But then it's like how we have now, especially with like once you get into the smartphone era, a lot of technological changes that lead up to getting to the MOTB, people are a lot less resistant to. So even with Neuralink, there's people looking at like, oh, this will be good, this will be great. They can't wait, to be like Googling or doing whatever in their brain. They're thinking, oh, this is going to be amazing. Like they'll become superhumans. That's the minds that they have. I say Congress wishes they like specifics. So it says what Congress, which dictates currency specifications like the size and metal content of coins, could make Trump's order permanent through law, but past congressional efforts have failed. Pennies are mostly made of zinc, and the American zinc lobby has been a major opponent to suggestions that a penny be eliminated. So yeah, it's it's something that could just be a what they call it, a domino, where it cascades and cascades to then having like more and more kind of impacts on different forms of currency. And if it does get through Congress, then that'll be significant because it'll be the first time it's cemented. So we'll kind of see. But then it's like the idea then just it's it lines up with the rest of what Trump's doing. It's all pushing heavily to fulfill prophecy. Let me read this first, actually. So, First Maccabees 8:1, it says, Now Judas had heard of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept all that joined unto them, and make a league of amity with all that came unto them, and that they were men of great valour. It was told him also of their wars and noble acts, which had been done among the Galatians, and how they had conquered them and brought them under tribute, and what they had done in the country of Spain. And this is, getting into the point, for the winning of the mines of the silver and gold which is there, and that by their policy and patience they had conquered all the place, though it were very far from them. So yeah, the means they used to conquer Spain was what? Policy and patience. That's what the was it? The Romans still like, I don't know why. The Romans what? Policy and patience. And that's, what modern day Rome, which is America, it's the same thing. It's policy, laws being passed, and impatience. With time, it slowly builds up and accrues to where they can then execute things, and there's no kind of, like recourse needed. Because like I said, it's the Treasury Secretary already has the powers, so these things can be executed. and then it can be cemented later, especially if they get the um was they, and that by policy and patience they had conquered all the place, though it were very far from them, and the kings also that came against them from the uttermost part of the earth, till they had comforted them, and given them a great overthrow, so that the rest had did give them tribute every year. Yeah, so with that policy and patience combined, that's a key aspect of the that system, beast system, man, that American system. Because let's say Daniel 8 and 24 got into and the power. No. Okay, yeah. 25, Salak. And for his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. Yeah, and this is the spirit of when they came as the Greeks, when they came as the Romans, it was the same approach, where it's like them policy, them different laws being passed, being used to, to destroy people, to succeed in what they're desiring to accomplish, and getting away with it too. It says, and by peace shall destroy many. Yeah, and that's it seems like these laws are being passed with, uh, positive benefits found in them, but then in reality, it's a form of conquest, of control, of destruction, and that's you look at a lot of aspects. It's a big one you can go to is the gold standard being taken off the dollar. People think like, oh, it gives more flexibility for the US government to kind of manage the economy and keep prosperity going. But then what does it do? Those that don't have the fuck is it called? Don't have, gold stores and whatnot, they've then lost their what do you call it? The worth of their currency. Where before you could go and like trade a dollar for gold, and then gold. Even if you had different currencies, you could trade different currencies for gold. Sorry, for dollars, and then the dollars for gold. So it was hedged to an actual physical asset of worth, because it's not hedged to anything. Then it lets them play games, and then you have situations like the financial crisis, which, and then even with 2020 as well, the what was it? It was furlough over here, and then the Biden bucks. I can't remember the actual term. But then that supreme inflation, where they called it the biggest wealth, not displacement, wealth transfer in history. That's what they say. So I think it was like 25% of all dollars were printed like post 2020. So it just shows that once the laws are in place, they can be weaponized and used to destroy. That's a big aspect of how Esau, as the Romans or as the Greeks, that's how they get down. And even now, you got Nero passing them laws again. The first thing he came in, policy, passing through it, writing it down, following through on it. So we'll see, continue and watch how it goes forward, man. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom.